Imagine living in a world where a single mistake could follow you for the rest of your life. Not just a mark on your record or a fine to pay, but a permanent scar burned into your skin, visible to everyone you meet. In ancient Rome, this wasn't just a horror story or an exaggeration, it was real. They called it stigmatization, the brutal practice of branding people with hot iron, leaving them marked for life. Slaves, criminals, soldiers, even free citizens could all fall victim. Their identities forever defined by a single, searing symbol. But the story of these marks isn't just about penance, about power, control, and a society obsessed with order. Slavery was the backbone of Roman society, and escaping was seen as more than just a crime. It was a direct challenge to the system itself. When a fugitive slave was caught, punishment wasn't just harsh, it was permanent. They were branded with a hot iron, often on the forehead, with the letter F for fugitives. That single mark told everyone who saw it exactly what they had done. It wasn't just a warning. It was a scarlet letter in plain sight, stripping away trust and dignity. Even other slaves and potential buyers would see them as tainted, making life almost unbearable. Roman playwrights like Plautus didn't shy away from it either, often referencing branded slaves in his comedies, turning a terrifying reality into cautionary tales, sometimes even dark humor. But this was just the beginning. Slaves weren't the only ones who could be marked. It wasn't just slaves who faced this terrifying fate. Criminals, from forgers to thieves to those accused of treason, could be branded as well. The mark wasn't just punishment, it was a permanent label, a visible reminder of their crime that followed them everywhere. Society treated them as outcasts, shunning them in public, turning even simple interactions into humiliations. Every glance from a passerby reinforced the shame. Life for a branded criminal was a constant struggle, because the mark wasn't just skin deep, it stripped them of trust, respect, and a sense of belonging. But for free Roman citizens, the consequences could be even more devastating, pushing them far beyond social shame into total loss of honor. For a free Roman citizen, being branded was more than humiliation, was a complete fall from grace. Once marked, they became what Rome called an infamis, a person stripped of honor and reputation. They could no longer testify in court, hold public office, or fully participate in civic life. Essentially, they were invisible in the eyes of the law and society. Some emperors took this cruelty even further. Suetonius records that Caligula, infamous for his cruelty, sometimes ordered citizens to be branded for minor offenses of punishment, usually reserved for slaves or criminals. One small mark could erase a lifetime of rights, privileges, and social standing. But the reach of this practice didn't stop at citizens. Even soldiers who betrayed Rome's trust faced a scarred future. Deserting the Roman army was considered one of the gravest betrayals, and Rome made sure everyone knew it. Soldiers caught abandoning their posts were often branded, sometimes on the forehead, a permanent sign of dishonor and failure. The Thick Code, a compilation of Roman laws, even specified this punishment, making it clear that the mark was meant as both a personal penalty and a warning to others. One glance at a branded soldier was enough to understand their betrayal. No trial, no story needed. The mark turned them into living examples of shame, reminding their comrades and the public that loyalty to Rome wasn't optional. But branding wasn't only about punishment or shame. Sometimes it was about ownership and identity, even in the arena. In the world of gladiators and slaves, branding wasn't always punishment, it was a mark of ownership. Gladiators were often branded with the symbol of their lanista, the trainer who owned them, or to indicate their fighting category. Slaves, too, could carry similar marks, signaling who held control over them. These marks made it clear to everyone who passed them that they belonged to someone else, reinforcing a strict hierarchy in Roman society. It was a constant reminder that freedom was not theirs, and that their identity was shaped by ownership and social control. From punishment to possession, branding in Rome became a tool to enforce rules, assert dominance, and cement the power structures of the empire. And the impact of these marks went far deeper than skin, affecting every interaction, every opportunity, and every moment of life. Stigmatization in ancient Rome wasn't just about punishing a single act, it was about controlling people for life. One mark could define a person forever, turning mistakes into permanent shame and social exile. It reinforced the hierarchy of the empire, kept slaves obedient, criminals visible, and citizens aware that reputation was everything. The psychological weight of a branded body was immense. Every glance, every encounter reminded the individual and everyone around them of the power Rome wielded. In a society obsessed with honor and reputation, one hot iron could write a story on the skin that no apology, no reform, could erase. It was fear, control, and humiliation rolled into a single, searing mark. From fugitive slaves to criminals, citizens, soldiers, and gladiators, branding in ancient Rome left no one completely untouched. It was more than punishment. It was a tool of control, a permanent reminder of society's rules, and a scar that defined lives. One small mark could erase honor, destroy reputation, and force a lifetime of shame. It's a chilling reminder of just how far a society can go to enforce order and obedience. So next time you think about mistakes or consequences, remember the Romans and imagine living in a world where a single misstep could be etched into your skin forever. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, and check out our next video. You won't want to miss the next dark chapter of history.